Hello everybody, Treno here, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different than what we usually do on this channel. Because tomorrow, July the 4th, will be the British general election, the first one since 2019. So it's been a long time since the last election, and basically I decided to do a little political predictor type thing using the game Defcon. This is inspired by another YouTuber, John at Many a True Nerd, who does this via the game Worms. But basically, we're going to put all of the British political parties, or at least 6 of them, into Defcon, and we're going to see how they do in the game and how that might play out in real life, or whether it's likely to play out like that in real life. So we've represented most of the political parties. So we've got Labour under Keir Starmer, who are the favourites to win the election. We've got the Conservatives under Rishi Sunak, who were the incumbents before the election, but are not expected to do massively well. We've got the Lib Dems under Ed Davey, who may potentially become the new opposition party over the Conservatives. We've got Reform led by Nigel Farage. And then you've got the Scottish National Party, the SNP, led by John Swinney. And the sort of Welsh Independence Party, Plaid Cymru, led by Rhys Puoreth. I hope I've pronounced that right. Unfortunately, I couldn't fit in the Northern Ireland parties, but thankfully Australia in the game does not actually take part. And Sinn Féin in real life do not take their seats in Parliament, so they can be represented by Australia. And basically, we're just going to put these through the game and see how things turn out. So I'm going to be spectating. So here we go. So Reform have got North America, Lib Dems have got South America, Plaid Cymru have got Africa, Conservatives Europe, Labour Russia, and the SNP have got East Asia. Full disclosure, this is actually the second recording because something went wrong with the first one. But basically, the Conservatives have got a strong fleet around the North Atlantic, and they will be going up against Plaid Cymru and Reform. Plaid Cymru have only got some small fleets here. They're not going to last very long. They've got their bigger fleets down here in the Mid-Atlantic, but they are going up against the Lib Dems. So that's 50-50 on how that one's going to go, I think. And the first few Defcons, so Defcon 5 to 3 are... Well, Defcon 5 and 4 are basically just placing your units. 3 and 2 are conventional warfare, and Defcon 1 is where the nukes will start flying. And you can see Labour have got a strong fleet around the east coast of Asia, or Russia and Asia. And SNP and Plaid Cymru down here in the Indian Ocean. Basically, the aim of the game is to get score. So you get score by taking out enemy cities. You lose score if some of your cities are taken out. So basically, just cause as much damage as you can while protecting yourself. We're about to hit Defcon 3, and the fighting is about to start. Yeah, those Plaid Cymru ships up here, they're not going to do very well. The submarine will probably survive a little while, but no, they've been wiped out very quickly. There was basically no reason to keep them there, to be honest. And down here, it looks like the SNP, or sorry, the Lib Dems are very quickly taking out Plaid Cymru here. Well, they've got a few battleships going up towards the north coast of South America. If we go over here, you can see the Lib Dems are engaging Reform, and they are doing it under the cover of their air defense systems. That will give them a little bit of an edge against the enemy aircraft, but they're probably not going to do too well. They might get... I think whoever wins, they're going to take very heavy losses there. The SNP are coming in to join in the fray. Labour are quickly wiping out Reform here, and they've still got some good fleets in backup here. SNP have still got some very strong forces along Plaid Cymru's eastern coast. Lib Dems are coming down to the south, though. They seem to have wiped out Plaid Cymru for the most part. And if we go to the North Atlantic, yeah, the Conservatives have very quickly gained control of the North Atlantic, but there is that submarine there. If they don't take care of it, that could cause some very bad damage. And Reform's anti-air defences are starting to come into play. You'll see these fighters going off to do recon. Basically, of course, we can see all of the enemy assets. They can only see... The players themselves can only see the individual cities, or the AI, because, of course, this is all AI controlled. And we've hit Defcon 1. But yeah, you'll see a lot of these random fighters being sent out, because if they're from an airbase, they can just be... Basically, they just respawn over time, so it's not a huge loss. It doesn't cost you any score. And the first launches have been done by SNP and the Lib Dems, and they seem to be going for Plaid Cymru. They are quickly wiping out the Welsh party to gain dominance over the rest of the world. But Plaid Cymru are going for Reform. And they might do well. They've got some, although Reform have got some strong defences there. And if those missiles come in piecemeal, it's not going to do well. But Conservatives have also launched at Reform. Conservatives want to deal with Reform. Reform are expected to take a lot of votes away from the Conservatives. Oh, and they've got some early hits in there. They've taken out a radar, and I think they've hit some of the silos. New York has just been hit. Oh, that's a big loss for Reform. And very good for Plaid Cymru. Labour have started their launch. Oh, who are they targeting? They are targeting Tokyo. They've already hit Tokyo once. The SNP have been hit quite badly. Oh, that is not good. And the Lib Dems have taken some hits down here in South America. Oh, it's all going to start kicking off now. And so after the first wave, Plaid Cymru's in first, followed by Labour and Conservatives. And you got Reform in stone cold last, because they took some bad hits, especially losing New York. And they've lost a silo. Oh, that is very bad. Because silos basically are air defense systems, but you can convert them to fire missiles as well, up to 10 nuclear missiles. So if they've lost a sixth of their nuclear capabilities straight away, and of course it can't be used to defend against further nuclear missiles. Reform is launching some retaliatory strikes against the Lib Dems. We'll see how it goes. I don't think it's going to go well. Just launching one or two missiles here and there is not going to do very well for them. And the SNP have been devastated in Japan. Labour are starting to push into their more mainland territories. But again, it's quite piecemeal. It's not going to do very well for them. See how... I don't think any of those missiles are going to get through. Maybe one if they're very lucky, but I doubt even that. We'll move away from Labour. See, Plaid Cymru have taken a few bad hits around their silo there. I don't know if they've taken any hits to the actual cities, though. Oh, they did hit there. They took a hit to Cairo. Yeah, Cairo's a massive city. That is a massive loss to Plaid Cymru. And Reform seems to be just fighting off a whole bunch of Labour fighters at the moment. Labour is obviously trying to recon for their next strike. Labour is now in the lead, followed by Conservatives, Plaid Cymru, and then you've got SNP, and in the minuses you've got Lib Dems and Reform. Reform have been hit very hard in this fight. But they've got some bombers coming in from the northwest. Looks like they're going to be going for the Lib Dems next. Labour are doing some repositioning. This is the point in the game where the first strikes have been sent out. Everyone's repositioning, just sort of taking their next steps, figuring out what to do next. But the Conservatives are carrying on. They seem to have gone all in on the submarine strikes, and they're taking out a lot of radar for following strikes. Taking out airbase as well, so that gets rid of the respawning fighters, and it does take out some of their bombers and nuclear arsenal. And they've taken out yet another silo. Reform are completely screwed here. They are screwed. Anything coming from the northwest can be intercepted, or San Francisco and Los Angeles were nuked at some point. Conservatives have basically got free reign now to just hit Conservatives as much, to hit Reform as much as they want. Oh, and is that New York and DC and possibly some others? Oh, you're gonna Reform are screwed. Reform have lost this. Conservatives might win this game just through those early launches, and they've converted their air defense missiles silos to just launching nukes at the moment. They have gone all in. They know they're in the lead, and they don't care anymore. They are just going full on, just hit everything they can. They've done pretty well in this game. They've managed to defend themselves fairly well. Plaid Cymru, not so much, but again, most of it's just from that missile hitting Cairo and Addis Ababa. I've probably mispronounced that. The SNP, how are they doing on the mainland? Because they did take those hits around Tokyo. They seem to be protecting the mainland for the most part. They've taken some collateral damage. Basically, if a missile is shot down over a city, it does sometimes cause a little bit of damage. Sinn Féin just living their best life down here. Just watching proceedings. Reform have also gone full on, just launch everything they've got, and they haven't got much left, to be honest. Even if because it takes 3 missiles to take out a silo, but even a hit will take out a bunch of the missiles within the silo. Basically, their only hope now is to just launch everything they can and get them converted to air defense to to defend against any follow-up attacks, but it's too late for them now. It's far too late, and they've already taken way too many big hits. And the Conservatives have still got their big fleets around here, so they could move them down south, go up against the SNP and the Lib Dems. The SNP are sending their fleets from the Indian Ocean to reinforce in the Atlantic. Labour have still got all their fleets in the Pacific. Are they going to go against Reform? Are they going to, you know, kick them while they're down? We'll see. They've still got their full submarine fleet down here. They could go for the Lib Dems, because they've converted to launching missiles as well, so they're in a very vulnerable position. If Labour could just get a few missiles on them, they could potentially wipe out the Lib Dems' air defence system. And that would make follow-up strikes extremely easy. And yeah, this is the point where everyone's just gone, no, just launch everything we've got. No one's in air defence mode at the moment. Except for the Conservatives, because they launched first, they were able to get their missiles off and reconvert before they took any major hits. Now, they've taken a few hits, I think. Oh no, they've taken hits against the silos. So they're not being targeted in their cities as such. Although they're going to take some... Oh, London's just been hit. That is a big loss to the Conservatives. Reform have destroyed London. Oh, and they've lost that silo. The Conservatives lost that silo on the eastern border. And that is where all the missiles are coming through. Are we going to see a reversal for the Conservatives? Are Labour going to regain the lead here? Reform is just a glowing crater on the eastern coast now. And they've taken some... The SNP have taken some bad hits around India. I can't even see the name of that city because it's just obscured by a flashpoint. If you zoom all the way out, and you can just see those ballistic arcs now. Rome has just taken a hit. Los Angeles was hit again. Did I just see a silo destroyed? Or something else was hit, I think. Yeah, you can see launch after launch at this point. London's been hit again. Something's just been hit around... Was that Chicago? Seoul's been hit. But, yeah. We've hit the victory timer. Basically, there's less than 20% of the world's nuclear arsenals left in play. And Plaid Cymru have actually come back a little bit. They were not doing so well in the beginning, I didn't think, but they're coming back a bit. They've knocked Labour into third place. Conservatives have definitely won this, unless people get some really good hits in. Manchester's just been hit. Oh, they're going to lose their radar. But they've already lost most of their air defence, so I don't think it was going to make too much difference to them. Lib Dems are going all in against Labour at the moment. They've really got it in for Labour. The SNP are just kicking it in. Just kicking Conservatives while they can, but it's not going to help them. Kyiv's just been hit. Yeah, quite a few cities in Ukraine, the Balkans. Rome was hit quite a bit earlier on. Has Spain been hit? I don't think Spain's been hit yet. So they're getting out quite lucky of this war. Well, Manchester was just hit. Again, Dublin's still okay. See multiple flashpoints around Mexico. The Lib Dems are being hit, but so is Reform. They've got nothing left to defend with. They've got nothing left to hit with either. See the stats up here. Who's got the most nukes? The Lib Dems have got the most nukes left. Followed by Labour and the SNP. They are launching everything they can. They've got 30 minutes. And it will take a long time for those missiles to actually hit. I don't think we're going to see all these missiles being got off in time. Oh, Conservatives are doing so well at the beginning, but they're just taking so many hits now, right now. Berlin. Rome and Napoli. Oh no, Napoli hasn't been hit. We'll probably see that get hit soon. Oh, and Barcelona's been hit. Spain was protected for most of the game, but not anymore. Lib Dems are going for the SNP. And Reform are just the absolute losers of this match so far. Oh, Leningrad was just hit. Labour, that's a bad hit for Labour. Warsaw. And it looks like the majority of nukes have been launched and are in the air right now. Who's actually got them? Lib Dems have got a few left, as have Plaid Cymru. Conservatives have one somewhere. I reckon it must be an air-launched one, and they haven't got any bombers left to launch it. Are the Lib Dems going to get their nukes in time, though? They've only got just under 20 minutes. Labour have got their air defence silos, so... Oh, Addis Ababa has been hit again. That is not good for Plaid Cymru. See, those last missiles are just... Yeah, they're not getting through. They might get one hit if they're very lucky, but I kind of doubt it. No, they might. They might just... No. Kubyshev has been hit. And there's just one lone missile flying across Russia right now. And it's been intercepted. It looks like that is the game, basically. How many missiles are left? Literally everything's been launched except for 2 Plaid Cymru missiles, and I don't think they've got anything left to launch them with. Probably one of these air bases, and they just haven't got any bombers like with the... Oh no, the Conservatives did have one earlier, didn't they? No, they've launched one. Okay, they must have... Not sure where they've come from, but they have got 2... Well, at least 1 missile left. I'll see where it's been launched or where it's going, but... Unless it's been destroyed, I'm not entirely sure. But the Conservatives have still got their fleets on the East Coast. Labour have... Sorry, Conservatives got their fleet on the West Coast. Reform's on the... Reform's... That's the East Coast of Reform, who have not got anything left, to be honest. They've got Alaska. They can retreat to Alaska. And the northwest regions... Well, the western regions of Canada, maybe. But Labour have got their battleships and their fleets there, ready to deal with them. Labour did take some bad hits, but they've still got a fair few big cities. Conservatives started taking some hits during the last exchange, but they've still got some good cities around the Balkans. They've got Odessa, Sofia, Belgrade, and most of Spain was left intact. It was only Barcelona that was really hit, and that is the game. And as you can see, Conservatives have come in first with 180.7 million kills to 80 million deaths. 1.8 million collateral deaths. Basically, like I said earlier, if a missile gets shot down over the target, then it will cause a little bit of damage. They have got 119 million survivors and a score of 277. Plaid Cymru come in second. They've got a score of 122 with 96.9 million kills, 70.8 million deaths, 0.3 million collateral damage and 129.2 million survivors. Labour is in third with 89 points, 84.8 million kills, 67.1 million deaths, 6.6 million collateral damage. That is a lot. Usually it's only like 0.1 million when you've got collateral damage. So they must have had a lot of missiles intercepted very late in the game. Like, as they were literally over their targets. Maybe they even partially detonated. They've got 132.9 million survivors. SNP are in fourth with 42 points. 51.9 million kills to 54.4 million deaths. So they've got more deaths than kills. And again, a lot of collateral. 3.5 million, 145.6 million survivors. Lib Dems in fifth with 12 points. 53.1 million kills, does 91.6 million deaths. 1.3 million collateral damage and 108.4 million survivors. And in last place is Reform. Minus 119 points. The only one in the minus. Literally no kills. Not a single kill for 117.7 million deaths. 0.7 million collateral damage. 82.3 million survivors. So Reform lost that battle very badly. Will it happen like that in real life? Well, Conservatives are expected to do very badly, so maybe they'll have a bit of a comeback. Can't talk too much about Plaid Cymru. I don't know much about Welsh politics, but maybe they're expected to do well. Labour, it's showing are going to come in third. Although, again, this is for the whole of the UK. Plaid Cymru and SNP don't put candidates in the rest of the UK, so averaging it out, Labour will still do pretty well. SNP looks like they'll do pretty well as well. Lib Dems may be a bit of a flop. Hopefully not. And hopefully Reform just won't do very well in general. But, yeah, so that is what the DEF CON Nuclear War Simulator thinks will happen in the UK general election. But we'll see what actually happens on the night. Anyway, just something a little bit different than what we usually do on this channel. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully you'll join me for the next video. I've been Tyranno, and I'll see you next time.